If you're looking for a motion alternative for ad creative analytics in 2026, this is the shortlist worth your time. You're already tagging ads by hand in a spreadsheet, switching between 4 dashboards, and finding out a creative died about a week after your budget did. By the end of this, you'll know which 6 tools cover which jobs and which one to start with. Every tool here was picked for something Motion leaves open. Motion reports on Meta, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn, groups creatives into trends, and reads video frame by frame for drop-off points. It doesn't connect to your attribution or customer data platforms. It has no fatigue detection or decline alerts. It doesn't analyze playable ads, and it has no multi-project view. So a second app means a second account to log into. If you run web campaigns for one brand, none of that costs you anything. If you're running mobile UA across several apps and networks, all 4 show up in your week. These 6 spill across 6 jobs: creative intelligence with MMP data, multi-platform paid social reporting, creative research, meta reference and competitor tracking, enterprise scoring with production, and brand governance. Creative intelligence goes first because it covers the gaps you came here for. Number 1 is Segwise. Segwise is a creative intelligence and generation platform you use when you want to know which creative elements drive your ROAS and generate the next round from them. You connect your ad networks and your MMPs and set up runs in 10 to 15 minutes with no engineering. It covers 15 or more networks including Meta, Google, TikTok, Snapchat, Axon, Unity Ads, and Mintegral. And it pulls AppsFlyer, Adjust, Branch, and Singular alongside them. So install and revenue data sits next to network metrics instead of in a separate tab. Its multimodal AI then tags every creative across video, audio, image, and text. So hooks, characters, CTAs, colors, on-screen text, gameplay, and emotional tone all become data you can sort performance by. It's the only platform that tags playable ads, which is the whole ball game if you run mobile gaming. Every tag maps to your metrics, so you can see one hook style carrying your ROAS while a specific CTA drags it down. Most teams never get this data because building it by hand is a full-time job. Manual creative tagging runs past 20 hours a week per app and is the first thing that gets dropped in a busy week. That's why so many creative calls still get made on memory of what worked last quarter. Fatigue tracking watches every creative on every network for continuous decline and spend share drop on thresholds you set, so a 20% ROAS slide reaches you in week 1. Studio View holds every app, game, or client in one workspace, and Card View puts thumbnails next to the numbers. The Creative Strategy Agent keeps context across all of it and answers questions in plain language, like what separates your top 5 creatives from your bottom 5. Then the Creative Generation Agent builds new creatives out of the winning patterns, static, video, and playables, plus scene-by-scene storyboards, and everything it makes gets tagged and tracked once it's live, so performance feeds back into the data that produced it. Because that loop closes, teams running it report ROAS up around 50%. Pricing is custom, so you talk to someone for a quote rather than picking a plan off the page. And the free trial imports 2 weeks of history to work with, 3 months on paid. It's built for mobile game studios, DTC brands, subscription apps, and agencies running real volume across networks. Segwise is the right first pick when creative is what's capping your account and your install data lives in an MMP. Reporting across web, paid social is a narrower job, and there's a tool that does it well. Number 2 is Superads. Superads is a paid social reporting platform you use when you want scored creative performance across Meta, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Google in one view. It gives every creative a set of scores from 0 to 100 on hook, hold, click, engagement, and conversion, tags creatives automatically, and puts an AI chat analyst on top of live data so you can ask about yesterday's numbers. Reports and boards run on a schedule into Slack or email. Boards can be shared as live links with the client, and it tracks competitor ads for reference. Web paid social reporting is the job it owns. It supports web ad platforms only, so there's no MMP integration, no mobile ad network support, and no playable analysis. For a DTC brand buying those 4 channels off a website, that boundary never touches you. If you're buying installs on Unity, Mintegral, or Axon and reading adjust data, that boundary is the whole decision. It fits performance teams who want scored creative reporting across several web platforms with client-ready boards. Superads is the right choice when your spend is web-page social and you want scores rather than a tagging system. Studying what other brands are running is a different job again. Number 3 is Atria. Atria is a creative research tool you use when you want a large ad library to study next to your own performance numbers. It carries an ad library of 25 million ads and more, surfaces AI-driven performance signals with suggested changes, tracks progress against goals you set, and lets you build custom dashboards with filtering to dig into a slice of the account. Research volume is what it owns. It doesn't give you detailed element level breakdowns, and it doesn't map performance across multiple networks. So the tag level read from item 1 isn't something it produces. For a small growth team who mainly needs reference material and a directional read on what's working, that's a fair split. If your question is, which hook drove ROAS across 4 networks last month, Atria isn't built to answer it. It fits DTC and growth teams who want research and light analytics without a heavy setup. Atria is the right choice when your bottleneck is creative ideas rather than creative measurement. Reference gets sharper when you're watching specific competitors instead of a library. Number 4 is Foreplay. Foreplay is a swipe and competitor tracking tool you use when you want to collect reference ads and see what your competitors launch. It organizes swipe files from the Meta ad library and TikTok and spider tracks named competitors so new ad launches land in front of you automatically. Lens adds creative analytics on top with ROAS, your goal metrics, creative test results, and e-commerce benchmarks. Meta reference and competitor tracking is the job it owns. Its analytics are Meta only, so TikTok and Google performance reporting aren't there. It has no MMP integration and it does no element level AI tagging. For an agency team whose client spend sits almost entirely on Meta, that's a clean fit and the swipe workflow is genuinely fast. If you're splitting budget across 3 networks, most of your performance picture sits outside it. It fits DTC brands and agency teams working Meta as the primary channel. Foreplay is the right choice when competitor creative and a well-organized swipe file are what your briefs are missing. Enterprise teams need something built around a different kind of volume. Number 5 is Vidmob. Vidmob is an enterprise creative data platform you use when you want creative scoring with production services attached. It tracks how audiences respond to messaging, visuals, brand claims, and concepts, connects creative decisions back to business outcomes, and runs predictive creative analysis so media teams get a read on an asset before it launches. Its production side means the scoring comes with people who can make the work. Enterprise scoring with production support is what it owns. It has no studio view, so holding several apps or brands in one unified workspace isn't part of it, and you manage projects separately instead. For a single global brand with one portfolio and an in-house media team, that structure suits how the work already runs. If you're an agency reporting across 12 clients or a studio running 6 games, that missing workspace becomes daily friction. It fits large brands and agencies who want creative analytics with production capacity behind it. Vidmob is the right choice when the gap between knowing what works and producing it is a headcount problem. Some enterprise teams have a different problem entirely, which is consistency. Number 6 is CreativeX. CreativeX is a creative governance platform you use when you want every ad checked against brand and platform standards before it runs. Its creative quality score runs automated checks on aspect ratio, branding timing, safe zones, captions, sound, and CTA presence, and you can encode your own brand guidelines as rules. It measures pre-flight and in-flight across 7 or more platforms, including Meta, TikTok, YouTube, Google Display, Amazon, Snapchat, and X. And it carries governance modules for creative salience, lifecycle tracking, and inclusive representation audits. Brand governance at global scale is the job it owns. It's built for CMO-level oversight. It scores how closely an ad follows best practice and which elements actually drove conversions is a question it leaves alone. And it has no MMP integration. For a global brand with dozens of markets and agencies shipping work in your name, that consistency check is exactly the point of buying it. For a performance team chasing ROAS week to week, it answers a question you weren't asking. It fits global enterprise brands who need creative standards enforced across many teams. CreativeX is the right choice when your risk is inconsistent brand output rather than declining return. Those are the 6. Segwise handles creative intelligence with MMP data and generation. Superads handles code reporting across web, paid, social. Atria handles creative research. Foreplay handles meta reference and competitor tracking. Vidmob handles enterprise scoring with production, and CreativeX handles brand governance. Most teams leaving Motion are leaving for a specific reason, and the reason is usually fatigue they caught late, playables they couldn't read, installed data stuck in an MMP, or a second app that meant a second login. Segwise covers all four in one place, tags every element including playables, catches the decline before the spend goes, and generates the next round out of what your data says worked. Start with whatever motion was leaving on the table, and if you can't name the creative element driving your ROAS today, start Segwise for free at segwise.ai.